Usually when people think about moving to a new location to save money, they don't expand that search, worldwide. And I like that, you're like, okay, let me check out all my options.
Yes.
So what? And I know that it's a word that I've heard often, especially amongst my millennial friends, is the FIRE movement, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Did this have anything to play in the reason why you chose the tiny home route?
Yes, absolutely. So the fire movement is an interesting movement because it's kind of really just gotten really big with my generation. And I think of it in like two parts, almost two stages. So the financial independence part was the part that was most important to us when we were looking at moving to New Zealand. We were both working pretty average jobs. We both had an apartment to ourselves. My
You and
husband
Patrick.
had, yeah,
Okay,
my
okay,
husband
husband.
Patrick and
Okay.
I, yeah. So he was renting with his twin brother. So he had a roommate and I was living alone. But it wasn't, we had been doing that for, I had been working for about 2 years outside of university and I could just see where my life was headed and it didn't really excite me at all. I didn't see a huge amount of career growth in the industry that I was working in at the time. And it just, the East Coast had lost its luster when I had first gotten there when I was, 18, going to college, living the college life in Boston because there's so many universities, so many colleges. It was just super fun. And then after you start working, you're like, do I really want to stay here? So we just started talking. We're like, how do we make sure that we have that financial independence where we're not dependent on a place, where we're not dependent on a job, to be able to do the things that we want. So that's why we started saving. And that's why we started looking to New Zealand. We thought that we'd have a better, first of all, work-life balance, but also some other financial considerations. There's a lot more holiday that you can take here in New Zealand. You get a lot more leave. Healthcare, you don't have to pay out of pocket for. My husband was just killing himself over it because at least I had really good healthcare with my job, but his was just year after year after year, they would take something away. They took away dental. Then they took away, the price went up for his healthcare. And it was just, he couldn't see, the forest for the trees. So
Yeah.
those were some of the considerations we also made that would help us with our bottom line. Plus we were young, we wanted an adventure. So those were the main things to get to the financial independence part. And the retire early part, you know how us Black people love to remix things, play on things when it comes to music or arts, culture, anything. We always do things with our own little twist. So the retire early part, I don't really see the allure of retiring early.
Yeah. If you love what you do, then it's not so alluring. But if you hate what you do,
Exactly.
or you just see it as a job, then it's going to interpret it differently.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you think about it, really rich people never retire anyway. Like, Warren Buffett, the Queen of England. Like, if you're rich,
Right.
you never stop because you want to keep a hold of your money. You want to influence the next generation in some way.
Yeah.